Hello, and welcome to another day on the channel. My name is RNGesus, and today we'll be doing some more Dominaria United. So, pack 1, pick 1, our rare is pretty bad with Caves of Koilos. I do like seeing some aggro. Maybe we haven't done that much. Maybe we can do some like red-white aggro kind of stuff. And that's never done. Hopefully we will like Keldon Strike Team, Hammerhand, Furious Bellow, all that stuff. We can do some nice red-white aggro for once instead of all of the domain stuff that's been going around. Well, we're also given Karn, Living Legacy. I know this is a bad Planeswalker and all. It can't protect itself. It's like the dang pay mana to just anticipate for more, but it's really bad. It's also kind of cool. But if we want to do aggro, we're taking Yavimaya Steel Crusher, take up the shield. Yotai declares war. Like, Yotai isn't even that bad for the fact that it can still get +1. And it's like 2 mana, 4 damage, basically. Eventually, anyway. Let's just take the 2-drop in Steel Crusher, since we want to be leaning more heavy red than white with Tori. And here, there's a Stall for Time, pretty good for an aggressive style deck where you tap 2 blockers, draw a card. Sprouting Goblin is fine, sacrifice a land to draw a card. It's a 2/2 that just has the ability. And then Coalition Warbrute's fine, but you can pick these up pretty late, I feel. So I like just taking Stall for Time and cut off white. And there's only like 2 red cards, and not the greatest. Like for a domain deck, you want to be taking Niall over it, obviously. Extinguish Light's great removal. So yeah, just take the Stall for Time. And now, Furious Bellow, Banalish Faithbonder. Coalition Skyknight is interesting. The Faithbonders might be better than the Skyknight. I'm not really sure how to feel about either of these. Like a 2 mana 1/3 Vigilance is fine by itself. Or we can just take the Combat Trick, which is really good itself anyway, so. I feel like one of the Furious Bellows will probably wheel and we can pick these up relatively easily. Try the Coalition Skyknight, see how that works. Nah, let's just take the Furious Bellow. And here we can take Captain's Call, Semi-Herbalist, which is good with our Enlist, or Banalish Sleeper is just a 2 mana 3/1. G2 Amplifier is fine, but we're going to play it as a 2 mana 1/2. That can sometimes get buffed. We're really mostly looking at the white cards here, and I think the Herbalist a pick. Of note, there's no black cards in the pack. But yeah, Herbalist smooths out your draws, is a really good 2/1, and with Enlist, it can just get you a bunch of value. Banalish Sleeper's fine, but we'll just take the Herbalist here. And now we can get a Citizen's Arrest. Really good removal over a Coalition Warbrute. Again, cutting off more white. Pretty good. Crystal Grotto's fine, but we'll just take the Arrest. And okay, we now see a Mesa Cavalier and Cleaving Skyrider. In its battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay, so you can like kick this to kill an attacking creature, or kick this to burn your opponent and kill them. This could be interesting, and plus it's a 2/2 flyer by itself with Flash, and I do like that over the Mesa Cavalier, especially because we can pay kicker, so the opportunity cost is much lower than just taking a safeguard or Hammerhand. So we'll just take the Cleaving Skyrider. And now we'll take a Steel Crusher number 2 over a Furious Bellow. Don't mind if I do. On the wheel, we did not wheel much. The Furious Bellow didn't wheel or any of that, but we did get the Hammerhand, which is pretty good. So I'll be happy with that. Elvish Hydromancer in the pack is still surprising, considering the fact that there's also like Niall, so maybe blue-green domain's really open. Okay, Yotai declares war. Or Yoshi, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's Yoshi is what I've been told. Abolish Faith Bonder could be good over the Yoshi. Let's take the Faith Bonder. Better 2-drop. And we wheel Sprouting Goblin. Cool. So we can turn our lands into cards later. Of course, we get the Faith Bonder now. And then a Crystal Grotto is fine. Doubt we're going to play it, though. But it could be nice. And, okay. Our rare here is Defiler of Instinct. If you're not familiar with this, it's 2 red for a 4/4 with First Strike. As initial cost to cast red permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 less red if you paid this life. So basically it gives all red permanent spells a Phyrexian mana. And this, whenever you cast a red permanent spell, it deals 1 damage to any target. So a 4/4 First Strike by itself is really good. And in an aggressive deck like ours, I feel like it's just going to be insane. So we're going to definitely take that over Knight of Dawn's Light. And we do want to lean a bit more red to Tori for Tori, but this makes Citizen's Arrest a little harder, so we'll see how this plays out. We might not even play Citizen's Arrest depending on how things look. Here, this is not very good for us. Like, there is no good red card or a white card here. We're an aggro deck, so they're not going to be really attacking us too much, so this doesn't help us. Gitu Amplifier, not great at all. I guess just rare draft, since this pack absolutely sucks. Why not? Okay, now we're getting some better stuff. Vishino Branch Rider, really good aggressive creature for turn 1. Join Forces is a good combat trick, but I think we'd rather take the Branch Rider here. Just get our 1-drop in, since we really need some of those. And here, a Charismatic Vanguard would be fine. But I kind of like taking the Thrill of Possibility. Just to, like, get rid of lands later and draw some cards. It is not a permanent for Defiler, which is annoying. But I think it's still worth it. So yeah, let's take Thrill of Possibility over Charismatic Vanguard or Automatic Librarian. Of note, there are still, again, only 2 or 1 red and 1 white card in the pack. And here we get past no white cards at all. That's not good for white, but I guess what you want white is our like side color really here, so Hammerhand is really great. Great way to get in for damage. It's a permanent for Defiler. And it's just a really good aggressive card. Yeah, Citizen's Arrest looking worse and worse every time I look at it, even though it's a really good removal spell. If it was single white, it would be amazing, but I doubt we're going to play it now. And here, there's literally nothing except for Garna, Bloodfist of Keld. Okay. I don't hate taking this, considering how aggressive we want to be. And if we can get some like Geothermal Bogs on the wheel, we can splash it. So yeah, I don't hate that. Here, a Goblin Picker's fine. Guess we'll take that as a good 2-drop. Okay, red is super open, but white is not at all. We'll take Coalition Warbrute here over Smash to Dust. Wrath is really cool too, but we're not close to that. Here on the wheel, literally nothing. We'll just take like Salvage Mana Worker in case we want to splash or we want to kick Stall for Times for some reason. Again, same argument here. Artillery Blast, Gitu Amplifier are both bad. Gibbering Barricade, I mean, if we want to go into black, maybe we play Gibbering Barricade. Like, we attack with our stuff, we sacrifice it to, I don't know, whatever, and we get Garna triggers. Who knows? This is double red, right? Yeah, double red. We could take a third Yavimaya Steel Crusher, or Tribute, but I think I'd rather take the Stall for Time. Just cantrip, tap 2 target creatures. So who knows? Maybe we don't play Gardena. Tribute to Urborg. Okay, I guess we're getting a few black cards on the wheel that are good. And in pack 3... Dang, I am really bad at drafting or something. Because, like, green card, green card, green card, green card, all the green cards in the world. And some good blue cards, too, although Academy Lore Master's pretty bad. Because it's a symmetrical effect, which makes it bad. There is an aggressive Sabotage here, which is really good for red-black aggro. There's also a Sunlit Marsh if we want to, like, just get some splash lands. Yeah, let's take the Sunlit Marsh, actually. And, okay, that is a card to get past. Guardian of New Benalia. If you're not familiar with the card, it's a 1 and a white for a 2/2 with Enlist. Whenever it becomes enlist a creature, scry 2. And you can discard a card to give it indestructible and tap it. So it is a super good aggressive card. You get to scry every time you enlist a creature. And it's super hard to kill because of the indestructible it gives. So we'll be happily taking that. And now just get some mana fixing with Sacred Peaks over like Captain's Call or Balduvian Berserker. Or even Griffin Protector. Destroy Evil's interesting for the fact that we are light on removal. We've got ways to prevent them from blocking, but that's not much. I would love to take the Destroy Evil, but I think the mana fixing might be more important with some double red cards in the mix. Okay, here there's Warhost's Frenzy. Okay, so we might be delving more and more into red, or blackish red, because this is a really good card if you can get it off with it, or enough creatures to go with it. But Flowstone Kavu is also just really good. I think we have to take the Flowstone Kavu here. We need a higher creature count, I think. Well, actually, we don't need it, but I think we want the Flowstone Kavu instead. And then here is a Juniper Order Ranger, not amazing, or Root Weaver. Yavimaya Steel Crusher number 3 is fine. We could take the Active Treason effect, but I think I like Flowstone Infusion as some just cheap removal. And, okay, Kelton Strike Team. That's a great card to see. Chaotic Transformation's a fun one. I did a draft with it, not on channel before, but it's a great way to, like, remove Planeswalkers if they ever have it, or just, like, even turn maybe, like, an artifact of yours into a meteorite or whatever. But yeah, we'll just take Kelton Strike Team here. Pretty good. And here, Inspired Charge. That's a great way to finish the games off. 6 mana plus 2/+1 trample, or just 4 mana plus 2/+1. Okay, here's a real question. Do we take the Argivian Cavalier, or do we take the Geothermal Bog to help splash Garna? Let's take the Cavalier. I'm sorry, Garna, but I don't think we're going to play you after all. Tribute. Okay, Captain's Call on the Wheel's nice. Yeah, I think we're not going to be playing Garna. It's just a little too much on... And we were going to have to, like, invest too many pieces. Like, we'd have to play Salvage Mana Worker. And bring down the overall power of the deck to bring in one card that could be good. Unless it's killed instantly. If it was, like, a card that wins the game on the spot, then that would be a different story. But sadly, it doesn't. So, we'll just be taking... whatever we took over that instead. I don't remember. What was it? Argivian Cavalier. Yeah. Over the land to help cast it. Oh, well. So, all in all, the draft is going pretty well. We've got some solid 2-drops. And Thrill of Possibility, I don't think we're playing the second one, but still pretty decent. Stall for times are pretty good in case we want to just start tapping down or just get through some damage. We're definitely cutting a land here, definitely a white land, but what else is going to be our cut? Captain's Call is cute. Helps with Tori and Heroic Charge. But besides that, it's pretty medium. Oh, and also Cleaving Skyrider kicked. I think we can cut down on one Steel Crusher, and then we can cut a land. I think I like doing that rather than cutting the Captain's Call or whatever. So yeah, this is our nice little aggro deck. Defiler of Instinct and Pack 1 Pick 1 Tori de Avenant. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot to the channel. And let's jump into some games and see how the deck does. On the play, this hand looks really aggressive, so of course we're going to keep. Stall for Time's looking pretty good as a cantrip. And here's a question. Do we lead off with the Herbalist or the Guardian? Probably the Herbalist, because it's probably going to be less likely killed. Since people don't really want to trade off with a 2-1. Unless they've got their own 1-1, like Pixie. The 1-1 that fixes lands. I forget what's called, but if they do that, then we'll just play Guardian of Dominaria. And it's going to be impossible for them to kill that. Pixie Illusionist is what it's called, yeah. Just cast Guardian of Dominaria. And good luck dealing with this OP. So they might be like a Domain style deck, especially if they're blue-green. So yeah, Domain. They swing for 2, sure thing. And they just pass, cool. Slam a Semi-Herbalist. Swing for 2. Pass the turn. Can still protect the Guardian, but hopefully we draw a red source for Defiler next turn. We have more red sources than white sources in the deck, so I'm sure we're going to draw one eventually. They cast an Academy Wall, so I guess I'm not getting past that for a bit. They pass, and perfect, a red source. Well, we'll swing with Guardian of Dominaria with Enlist. That way we get the Scry 2 and then the Scry 1. Do we want to Scry 1 first or Scry 2? This is interesting. Like, the Scry 2 digs us deeper, and then we can Scry 1. Yeah, I think we Scry 1 first, and then Scry 2 afterwards. Stall for time. We already have one. I don't think we want that. I mean, it actually stalls them for a long while. Nah, let's just put it away. And then we Scry 2. Hammer to Hand is perfect with Defiler. It's a free spell, basically, that makes something can't block. They swing, sure. Or they block. That's fine. And we'll cast a Defiler of Instinct. Pass the turn. Good luck dealing with this bucko. And we can just basically start holding our lands to feed to Guardian of Dominaria at this point. They Geyser. Boo. Fine, whatever. I can live with this. If we want, we can use Hammer Hand as more of a trick to kill the Academy Wall rather than just preventing it from blocking for a turn. Nah, I think we'd rather force in the damage. They discard a Hydromancer and draw a card. And then they pass, sure. Cast Defiler of Instinct. And then cast Hammer Hand on this, paying life. Deal 1 damage to the Illusionist. This will give it haste. So now we can swing in for 9. And we'll hold the land for Guardian. Let's undeclare you and enlist. This does the same amount of damage, but we also get to scry an extra 2. Branch Rider's fine, but I don't think we want it. Steel Crusher. Nah, I think we can do better. And then we deal 9 damage. So, pretty good. Well, what do you got to say for this, OP? Defiler of Instinct putting in work with the pay life, or else we wouldn't have been able to cast Hammer Hand in the first place. If they like try and play blockers, we can just stall for time. Deathbloom Gardener, sure. If that's all, then they're dead on board. Let's tap like this for the fact that... nah, let's not do that, because we might want to cast Thrill of Possibility. Stall for time. Tap both your blockers. They might have Shore Up, so we'll have to be wary about that. Yep, Shore Up, there it is. What they probably should have done is waited until we attacked to cast Shore Up, because now we know that their creature's untapped versus not having that knowledge. Cavalier. Let's just swing with everything. We guarantee more damage this way. Flowstone Infusion. Nah, I think we'd rather actually find a land for Heroic Charge. They block the Defiler to soak up damage. Sure thing. And we'll just play the land so we can throw the possibility end of turn, discarding the Cavalier. Like, the Cavalier's fine, but I think we'd rather find a basic land for Heroic Charge. And they concede. Good games. Well, makes sense. Our aggressive start, especially with the basically Cartouche, also known as Hammer Hand, sped up our clock so fast. But anyway, on to the next game. On the draw against or on the play against Xander, my bad. This hand, what is up with us missing red mana? I think this is on the fringe of playable, but I think we have to mulligan just to be a bit safe about it. We'll keep this hand in bottom. Bottom the land? I think we bottom... What's worth more? Sprouting Goblin or Goblin? I think I prefer the Goblin Picker over the Goblin... the Sprouting Goblin. Just for the fact that we would rather discard cards and sacrifice lands in the early game. Then again, we might want it for the late game, so who knows. They cast a Coral Colony. Well, that's annoying. Well... we could just stall for time to get to swing in. Yeah, let's just cantrip. This guarantees Tori next turn. Or if we just draw a creature, we can just play that creature instead and then give Tori haste with Hammerhand. I don't hate that. Maybe Thrill, discarding Hammerhand. Yeah, I think one Hammerhand might be... Nah, let's just cast Tori. They're gonna mill me for one here, so... Okay, they protect the Negotiators. That's pretty good. So feel bad about casting Torian to protect the Negotiators, but what can you do? Cast Thrill, discarding land. If they have another protect, that would suck. Okay, they don't. Okay, let's Hammer Hand. Just to get in 3 damage. Since we have a second one, I don't think we need to worry about wasting the first one very much. Artillery Blast, yikes. Well, now we just pass. They are just super... They milled themselves? I'm sorry, what? Do they have, like, something that cares about their graveyard? Boar Turk Bone Rattle, that's what it is. Oh, jeez. Well, that can't be good. Play a Branch Rider. We could Hammer Hand and Pump, and I think that's what we're going to do. Just try and be as aggressive as possible. Swing with the Branch Rider. And Pump. We get in for 4 damage. Of course they have Tribute to Urborg. Of course. And then they mill themselves again. I am so confused why they're milling themselves instead of us. They play Wooded Ridgeland, so now they have full domain. And we draw land. Well, how great. They mill themselves again. A bridge. So I guess they're like a defender kind of deck. I guess they're flooding out too because they're not casting anything. We'll just start holding lands for the Guardian of Dominaria. Their Channeler milled. That's pretty good for us. But that's not good for us because that's going to start making an army. And oh boy, will we die. Yeah, I think we'll concede here. Tatio is just going to start taking over the game, and we can't do much about it. So, good for them for having interaction. It's kind of rare these days. It's just a removal light set, but geez. They had exactly what they need when they needed it. So, on to the next game. On the draw, this hand's missing white, but if we do find a white source, it becomes really good, so let's try it. Every card besides a Branch Rider in this hand has Enlist, which is kind of cool. They lead off with the Geothermal Bog, and we found white mana. Cool. So, Branch Rider. Swing for 1, take that, Bog. If you're a true Rakdos deck, you would be an aggressive deck. Ha, see, you're not a true aggro Rakdos deck. Swing for 1, cast Guardian of Dominaria, and say GG's, because this is a really strong card. At least I feel it's really strong. I'm not sure how to judge it, but judging by how it's been playing, I feel like it's really good. Move to combat, swing with everything. I'm willing to discard a land. It might not guarantee Tori, but I feel like it's better here. They don't block. Play a land, cast Argivian Cavalier. Sure, we don't get the Scry too from Guardian, but I feel like that's fine at the moment. Instead of like swinging with the Branch Rider by itself, because then they would definitely block there, and we don't get any damage in. Now they take 3 damage instead, and they cast a Dragon Whelp. I guess they're stuck on lands, so that explains why they don't block. And Hammer Hand, okay. Well then, hello there. Well, let's move to combat. Enlist and enlist. Tap you, tap you. So now both of these are good attackers. We can bottom Sprouting Goblin. Since I think my goal here is going to cast Steel Crusher and Faith Bonder, the next turn land Tori and Hammerhand to surprise them. They take all the damage. Cool. Yavimaya Steel Crusher. Benalish Faith Bonder. Pass the turn. And at this point we say GG's because they are so dead. Probably anyway. Like they're at 9. This is going to give nearly everything Tro. Oh. God, why? Each creature and each opponent. I guess I'm discarding Hammerhand. So, maybe we shouldn't have discarded first, but they're gonna blow up our board anyway. At least some stuff live. That's a bright side, I guess. Our turn. Let's just enlist with the Faith Bonder, even though we don't get the Scry. That way, we're able to guarantee get through, and they can't block. Discard any number of cards. We'll cast Tori here. Pass the turn. Jeez. The Elder Dragon War just killed me. Why? If we knew that was in hand, we would have done a lot differently throughout this game. Like, instead of playing the two drops, we would have cast Tori. Would have survived the Dragon War. But, oh well. Hindsight's 50-50. I was just really hoping they wouldn't have, like, a board wipe or something. They extinguished the light Tori, sure. They don't gain any life. They're gonna get a 4/4 dragon soon, which is gonna be a problem. They just pass. Cool. Goblin Picker seems pretty good. Let's move to combat. Enlist with the Faith Bonder. Tap Guardian. They chump block. Sure thing. And we'll cast a Picker. Pass the turn. And they create a 4/4. Sure. They play another red source. Kamigawa lands look beautiful. But this dragon is a little annoying, but I think with Enlist, I think we can get past it. Boar Turk Bone Rattle, getting back Deathbloom Gardener. Yeah. Annoying. Move to combat, Enlist with Guardian, tapping Picker. You scry 2. Flowstone Infusion. I don't think that's worth anything at the moment. Just because it could only kill the Deathbloom Gardener, and I doubt they're gonna... I thought they were gonna block with the Gardener there. Interesting. Well, we'll discard the Mountain here. Give it an Indestructible. Pass the turn. This is annoying for the fact that we can't loot with our lands instead of... But the Indestructible is also really nice. Okay, that's a problem. That is a big problem. They're starting to swing in. Let's see. We'll start looting with our Goblin Picker, I guess. Discard a card. Draw... Herbalist, that's pretty good. It's another creature. And then we pass a turn. Would Inspired Charge kill them? I think it would, if they don't have a creature here. But yeah, all we can do is basically hope and pray at this point to RN Jesus. Give us the strength we need to win this game. Because this dragon's like, what? 4-turn clock? Yeah. Ooh, do they have Tail Swipe? That'd be annoying. Yep, there's Tail Swipe. They kill our Picker, so I guess we're not looting anymore. We take 5. And they pass. Defiler of Instinct. Well, that's a good card. Let's just slam that right now. And they have to be extra careful now. We pass the turn. They have to be extra careful now because, like, we can... Any red permanent spell kills their Deathbloom Gardener. So that means they're one less blocker, and then that can just be a problem by itself. Of course, their last card's a removal spell. Why wouldn't it be? Oh, I hate Magic sometimes. Cruel twist on this world. Well, they cast a Bog Badger Kicked. Yeah, that's a problem. They swing with everything. Block with the Faith Bonder and Guardian onto the Deathbloom. Make sure to kill that, since we're going to go to 1 here. They kill the Faith Bonder, so we don't have to activate Guardian and discard this card. And our turn. That's not it. Enlist. See what's on top of our deck. How close were we to winning? Like, that's not it. Hammer Hand. We were 3 cards away from winning. GG's. Well, not really winning. We needed the Flowstone Kavu first, but we were really close. On to the next game. On the play here, this hand is missing a whole lot of white, but it does have a Kavu, and we're on the play. I'm going to try it. No, I think we have to be strict here in Mulligan. Okay, this is much better. We'll keep in bottom of land. Turn 1, Branch Rider. Don't mind if I do. Turn 2, Guardian. And turn 3, start swinging. They play a Sacred Peaks. We'll play a Guardian. Good luck dealing with that sucker. Pass the turn. They play a Contaminated Aquifer and try and Flow Stone. The one removal spell that kills it. Do we Thrill here or just play land, cast Steel Crusher? Let's just cast Steel Crusher. Sets up for future damage. They play a Molten Tributary. Into a... Yeah, that's a lot of removal over there. Can you stop, please? Keldon Strike Team, cool. Swing. Pass. Okay, no more removal, OP. Capiche? Capiche, capash, caposh. Hey, what did I tell you about no removal? Don't go hovering over my stuff. Move to combat, swing. Doesn't look like they have removal here, so we'll just cast a Sprouting Goblin. Pass the turn, and hope that they don't have a board wipe. Zar Ojanin. Yeah, sure. Because now we can stall for time. Tap you. Puts a counter on itself. That's stupid. Swing in. They go to 3, and we pass the turn. This Branch Rider represents lethal. Keldon Strike Team represents lethal. So if we find any hammer head or hand, and then if we find a hammer hand, Sprouting Goblin represents lethal, but now they just bounce it. Gain some life. Hammer hand? Well, Argivian Cavalier is cool, but let's just Sprouting Goblin into Faith Bonder. Just be more mana efficient. Spend as much mana in a turn as possible and try and build a big enough board to kill them. Since they are so close to dying. No Temporal Firestorms, please. Or Drag to the Bottoms. Perfect, just a Vine Wall. They draw Forced. Into Rona. Sure. Defiler of Instinct. That's 6 red spells away from lethal. And no attacks. Pass the turn. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, it's a really big problem. Gain 5 life. Have a 7/7. Hammer hand. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's just cast normal mana to cast it, or pay normal mana to cast it. Target our Defiler. This way you can get through Zar Ojan. Ping them for 1. Moss Spirit Ancient can attack this, or block this turn. Swing for 5. The 5 first strike. They block with a Vine Wall, most likely. Or even Rona if they don't like what their hand is. Yep, they block with the Vine Wall, sure. And we'll cast an Argivian Cavalier. Pass the turn. Board's looking pretty big. Prayer of Bind. Of course, a prayer. It had to top deck removal, because why not? And life gain at that. Stupid. Meh. Cast Thrill, discarding... Let's Thrill, discard land. Draw Herbalist and Picker. Let's get the Picker online. I think we're going to win this. We need to go wide. And find our, what is it called? Find our Inspired Charge. Of course. Ugh. Why? Why? Is there, like, a way we can get out of this? I don't think there is. I guess, like, Inspired Charge off the top. Sacrifice land. Dang, that is a lot of land. Well, yeah, we're dead. We are so dead. That is... How much life did they gain? Let's see. 5, 10... 5, 10, 13 life, so they would have been at 4 without all of this life gain. So, oh, sorry, not 14, or not 13, 15 because of prayer, yeah. Jeez. My god, wow. Well, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, because aggro does not live in this format. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day.